I didn't know all that stuff, man, happened. And then, I think it was just an amazing story how you went through all that. You know, you learned basically in prison or juvenile, detention, and sometimes it's like a blessing. You know, like something bad turns out to something good, and you're a living example of it.
Well, I tell people all the time that that life is a positive and a negative. You can't do both of either and go forward. You got to have a negative and a positive to cause that combustion, was called fuel to prepare yourself forward in anything.
Yeah.
A car battery, airplane. If it just had up, how you gonna get back down?
We call that yin and yang.
That's
the
right.
Asian. They got the round circle with the black on one side and the
Yin
white
yang.
on the other.
Can't
have one without the other.
Like I tell people, you can't live without dying. You can't die without living. You have to do both. It's impossible to just do one.
Yeah, no, I just heard something similar to that about to be successful, you have to have failure. You have to fail to be successful.
Well, it's all how you look at it. Some people fail and continue to fail. What about them?
Yeah.
It's all what you learn out of your failure. Just like
you learn,
even when you win, you got to learn something from your win. Or you soon to lose. Because you think that performance spills over to the next one, but it doesn't. That performance is in the box, sealed, and in the history book. Now you're up against another hurdle you have to get over. Forget about that one. You know what I mean? And that's how I look at it. But what they did to me when I got there, right? And I told you I got there in December, right after, I was a week after the National. So January the 2nd or 3rd, whatever, I was in Colorado. And after I was there, I just fought, so I was in good shape, and I didn't have no girlfriend. I just went home, so my parents didn't went there. I'm still raw like jail. And so when I get there, they come about a week or two in. Do you remember Michael Arms, the heavyweight? I think he was from either Philly or back east or somewhere.
What's his name?
Michael Arms.
I
Big
don't
heavyweight.
recall.
Well, he got hurt in camp up there in Colorado Springs. And so I'm walking and Mr. Fox saw me. He was the manager for Amateur Boxing Federation. He said, "Henry, come here for a minute." He said, "You have a passport?" I said, "No, man, I want to smash. Got a jail now. I'm going to get a passport." He said, "You want to go to Germany?" I said, "Yeah." It's like that, He said, "Okay, come to my office at noon today after you eat lunch. Don't go to the gym. Just come to the office." I said, "All right." So I went to the office. He said, "Well, I want you to go to Germany. You're going to fight this dude, Claude D.Z. Smith. He was the champion there in
Germany,
and rated like 2 or 3 in the world, had 1,800 fights and all that. But to me, as soon as he showed him, I said, "That's a white boy. Ain't no white boy gonna whoop me." No, I'm serious.
Oh,
I'm just being true. Now, if you want me to sit here and say some bullshit, I will.
I ain't gonna say nothing about it.
All right.
I don't take that defensive in any way.
Okay,
I'm just saying.
Now we talking about
there's been a few fighters now that said that, and they made a big thing about it. Was it Errol Spence or somebody said that?
I'm telling you, 30
I got you. That's good that you feel
some
that
years
way.
ago, how I was thinking,
yeah.
the mentality I was at. If I was thinking now like I did then, you looking at a man just lost 33 years of his life.
Yeah.
So you grow. You learn all that. And so, and anyway, a German white guy ain't like a Santa Monica Beach white guy. Them dudes raised up rough as hell. Shit, that's 2 different white dudes, man. And so I said, dude, I'm saying to myself, I'm not saying this to nobody. I'm saying to myself. So that made me want to go even more. I said, yeah. Because he looked just like a regular, this regular dude. Like if he put a book in his hand, a briefcase, you thought he was a lawyer. To me. And so I went and everything. Because first Smitty said, I called and told him I'm going to Germany. He said, "What you going to Germany for?" I said, "I'm going to fight." He said, "Fight who?" I said, "This dude named Claude Smith or something like that. Claude D. Smith." He said, "Who's sitting you there?" I said, "Up here, Jim Fox." He slammed that phone down. I guess he called up to the thing. I went back and forth. And so then they called me back to the office. They always called me to the office about one thing or the other. And they said, well, mostly we had him on the speaker. On big old man had a big old speaker thing back in the days on his desk. And Smitty going back and forth. And so I said, "Smitty, remember you told me it's going to come a time in my life that ain't nobody going to believe in me but me?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "I think it's that time, because not even you don't think." Because he said, "Well, son, you don't have enough experience. Them dudes like pros." And they are, because the country take care of them while they train for Allen. That's a pro. And so he said, but son, I'm telling you, man, it ain't what you think it is. Them dudes can fight. That's all they do. They don't do nothing else. I said, Sweet, that's all I'm doing. It's fighting. He said, all right, man, you got my blessing. And I went. So I went down there. Howard Cosell was the commentator. Remember, it was on Wild World of Sports.
Mm-hmm.
USA versus the world. Because that's how he wound up doing the Olympics. He said, the only way I do the Olympics, he never really liked pros. He liked amateur boxing.
Was that Howard
Howard
Cosell?
Cosell, yeah.
Yeah.
He said, the only way I do the Olympics if y'all keep my amateur boxing on TV, Wild World of Sports. And that's how we stayed on TV. And that was good because he showcased us pretty much, the talent. That's why everybody knew who we were before we even got to the Olympics.
So you got in the ring with this German kid.
Oh, yeah, and Howard Cosell going, I don't know why they would send a greenhorn all the way on the other side of the country just to get knocked out. You talking like that. But I don't hear this, though.
Yeah.
It's on the thing when they lead up to the fight. They showing us it's a duel match, all weight classes. And so finally the fight started, and I come out, we going, and Howard Cosell goes nuts. I knocked him out in about 38, 40 seconds.
You knocked him out?
Yeah, first round.
Wow.
Yeah, Howard Cosell said, it's unbelievable, I can't believe this. He said, this is crazy, Henry Tillman. And then he had me up on the thing, and I went off. I started saying, bring all of them, Kid Norton, Larry Holmes. All of them was fighting coming up there, I knock any one of them. I lost my mind on the mic. Just showing you my ignorancy at the time.
That's good,
this
though,
is
man.
my age. I'm just new to everything new. And he was and that's really what got me on with the Olympic thing. That shit, man, this dude,
they couldn't not give you the opportunity after
exactly.
that.
They had to.
They had no choice.
They had to, yeah.
They had no
everybody
choice.
was like, man, this dude, he can go, man. And so then everything started escalating. And I started fighting and just fighting. And the next nationals I fought, I won the sports festival. And most of all the dudes I fought, whoever I had lost to, I came back and beat him, like Henry Milligan. I lost to him and came back in nationals and just stopped him.
So how did you eventually? You're doing this. You're winning. You're getting closer to the Olympics. What's Mike Tyson doing at the same time? He's fighting also, right?
Yeah, he's fighting too, but he's super heavyweight.
I was going to say that he's fighting super heavyweight.
That's why they made me come down. Because I was only 4 or 5 pounds off of it.
So Mike Tyson was the #1 super heavyweight?
Tyrell Biggs was.
Right. So that's why Tyson might have went down to 200?
No, they told Tyson.
What'd you fight Tyson at?
The first time?
Yeah, in the Olympics, was it?
Olympic trials in Texas.
201 or
201.
So Tyson went down to 201.
After I came back from Germany, they sent me down, and I never went back up to super heavyweight.
Okay.
When Tyson came there, he was super heavy.
But he went down.
He eventually went down because there's a lot of people super heavyweight. It was Tyrell Biggs, Al Evans from Chicago, Craig Payne from Michigan. It was Michael Arms. I think he was either from Philly or somewhere like that. He was East Coast somewhere, but not New York. He might have been Milwaukee.
So in the 201 division, there was Mike Tyson, there was you.
But Tyson wasn't there then.
No, I'm saying when he eventually got there.
It was Tyson.
Was there anybody else?
It was Tyson, me, Henry Milligan. It was Terry Anderson. It was Richard Johnson out of Texas. It was I can't think of this dude. He was out of Kansas City, Kansas. He remind you of a running back. He just come. He just come kind of like Tyson, but he just didn't have the pop Tyson had.
Yeah.
But he had the speed and he's coming in and throw a lot of punches, but he didn't have that pop.
So everybody was fighting each other, and the last two standing were you and Tyson.
Me and Tyson. Everybody fought each other a few times. Yep, just kept fighting. I got all my experience because Pat Nappy did a brilliant job. I mean, he just started, once I came back from Germany, he just started sending me everywhere. Here, Cuba, over here, Russia, Bulgaria, just fighting because he knew I needed that experience. And he didn't want me to just get local experience.
Were you winning like most of those fights or all the fights?
Yeah, I was winning. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's why he was brilliant in that one though. Because he wanted me to see that long European style and all that.
Was Smitty going with you at those fights? No. Were those trainers at that time teaching you stuff differently than Smitty?
Well, they was teaching me with the trainers that really taught me. Smitty taught me how to fight, but the trainers that taught me the rules of fighting. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't know the rules, you can't beat the rules. But when you know the rules, you know how far to go to not get penalized. And that's in anything, and that's what they taught me on just the basic stand up, get your points. You know what I mean? If the knockout come, take it. But don't just go in there with your whole attention on trying to knock somebody out, because you'll lose every time. Because you got a guy over there getting points. They taught me the point system. Watched a lot of film, a lot of history on the Olympics. Because what they did with me was, see, because I didn't know that much about the Olympics when I got into boxing. I knew, but like at the time, you could ask me, when is the Olympics? I would say, hell, I don't know, whenever they put on TV. That's what I thought. I never knew it was every 4 years back then. A lot of people don't know that. They just think the Olympics just come up.
Where was Muhammad Ali at this time?
He was at the Olympic fight. You never seen the Olympics? When
No,
they showed him in the thing going, yeah.
No, I'm saying when you were in your prime as an amateur, I guess.
He was still fighting.
Who was the champ of the world, heavyweight champ?
Who's the heavyweight champion? I think John Tate, maybe. Mike Weaver. It was John Tate. It was Mike Weaver, because Mike Weaver knocked John Tate out in the 15th round. Remember?
Okay, so
Got
Muhammad Ali wasn't the champ.
No, he was on his way out. He was doing a lot of promotional stuff, because I did a thing with him when Harold Smith had him. Remember Harold Smith? They had that gym in Santa Monica. Yeah, they had brought me out of YA to come down there and do a thing with him in the ring. It was like mock sparring, you know. But just me being in front of him, I was just nervous and stuff. You know, this is Muhammad Ali, and I've been fighting with gloves on.
Let's move a little bit forward. There's something we could talk forever. I hope we have you back here again and continue from there.
It's a phone call with you, Phil, with me.
Great, man. Thank you, man. Don, now we all three of us trained at this gym in South Central called the Broadway Gym. That's where I met
Bill Slayton.
I met Henry there. Yeah. We've had our sparring days together. I met Smitty there. Don, you know, I've been working with Don for 20 years or so, man.
That's how I met Don.
And that's how. That's how you met Don.
You know, because I remember seeing you at Denner Watts. In fact, this happens to me a lot. Guys spar me, and they remember the sparring for the rest of their lives, and I don't remember the guys.
Right.
I thought I sparred you one time with there, because I know I sparred JB. When he was J.B. Williams.
You sparred me a couple of times there.
Once or twice. Yeah, a couple of times. Yeah. And thank God he went easy on me. But the point is, I remember it was a big thing for me, because I had a lot of respect for you as a boxer.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, look, you were known before you got the gold medal. Like he said, I mean, people knew about you. I was in the fight game. I was working out in boxing gyms. Right. That's one of the things that kickboxers learned when I started in '74, my first pro fight. Martial arts guys, those techniques don't work with gloves.
No.
The kind of punches they throw, although Roy Jones and we did some commentary together, and he said his dad was a black belt because he fights from, his stance is too wide. He fights from a karate stance.
To really kick.
Yeah, but Roy Jones is so crazy. I don't think it's true, but he said he uses techniques he sees chickens do. Do you know he does that chicken fighting, and he goes just like this with his hands. Have you ever seen him do that in a boxing match? He said the chickens would do that, and the other chicken didn't know what to do, and then he'd go and hit guys. So that might be craziness. Crazy talk.
Sometimes he run in place. You ever see when he run in place in the ring? Chickens do that too in the fight.
Well, then he's telling the truth. He's watching them chickens.
Well, he used to punch like this, Roy Jones, and that's how chickens, they flap their wings and stuff.
Well, you know, when he was in his prime, he did everything that you're not taught to do. You're not taught to stick your head out, have your hands down, right? And he got away with it because he was physically superior to his opponents.
And he was just special.
Yes. Nobody could touch him.
Gift.
He can play basketball.
Yep.
Full court, and then go fight 12 rounds.
Yep. I say he's just special, man. I mean, you probably won't never see another guy like him.
Well,
Ali was like that.
Ali was.
He boxed how many people in one day? Remember that?
I know Foreman fought a bunch of guys in one day.
Ali did too.
Ali did it too.
Oh no, he fought the wrestler dude.
But Foreman, he fought some sumo wrestler, and
Ali broke all the rules. Remember, they said don't lean back. Ali would lean back. Then Ali, they said he fights with his hands down. We're supposed to, he broke all the rules. So you can't.
Special.
He can do that.
Special.
Since when did you see even a lightweight fight like him? No, not only heavyweights, but middleweights, junior middle. Nobody could move like Ali in his prime. And the government took away his best years.
Oh yeah,
he won the title for 4 years. That's your best time when you first win the title and you're in great shape and you get the experience. And they took that away from him.
Yeah.
And but he still came back.
special.
I was scared when he was fought that Foreman. I mean, Foreman, look what he did to Frazier. Come on. That's scary. And you know, Frazier and Ali just had. What's that? Oh, that's me. I apologize.
It do sound like it's
I
here.
think Henry's up 2-1 so far.
And you know what it says? It says spam. So there. Sorry.
That's fine.
But yeah, there's never been. I heard Ali said one time. They said, "Well, how do you know they call you the greatest? How could you determine that?" He said, "Well, anybody I fight 10 times, I'll win 6. Do you doubt that? He will. Any heavyweight that has ever lived, if he fought him 10 because he's so smart,
Yeah.
he would win 6 out of the 10.
I can believe that.
Yeah, and I'm not saying, like even Frazier got the broken jaw. I mean, how did he even keep getting? I've had my jaw, bro. I have my cheekbone fractured and everything. I just fold like a stack of cards, man. I can't take pain like a broken jaw.
Do you know Don is considered the Muhammad Ali of kickboxing?
Oh yeah, Don bad. He was
Well,
bad then.
well, when I was young,
No, I'm just saying you was bad back then.
Yeah.
I know exactly who he was.
1984, I was Fighter of the Year, and that's my prime.
Ain't that something? 1984, you won
fine.
the gold medal, and he was considered in his prime.
I was voted the top of all the weight. I don't know, Fighter of the Year. Like by the Ring magazine, but it was Black Belt magazine.
Right.
But the same thing, like if Ring magazine
Same
says you're the best
magnitude,
one.
just of your
Right,
sport.
right. Whether you're WBC, WBA, they consider everybody. And so that was my prime. But what happened was I moved out here to be an actor in '85. So I was retired. And you know what actors, the kind of lifestyle? And then what happened was I ran out of money. So I called up Bill Slayton. I said, Bill, a guy wants me to fight in Montreal. He said, well, how much time we got? I got 2 weeks. And Bill said, don't forget the jumping rope, forget the running. He said, just come down here and I'll do the best I can. Because I said, can you get me in shape in 2 weeks? And he said, no. He said, but come here anyway. So I went there and we get to Montreal. I'm fighting a guy out of New York. I'm fighting an American, but he's in Montreal. And Bill tells me, don't do anything the first round before the bell rings. And I said, what do you mean? He said, just what I said. Don't throw any punches. Don't just move around. Let the guy have the round. Second round, because he knows I can't go 10 rounds.
Yeah, he wants you to get out of the first round.
Well, no, second round. The guy was tall. The guy was about 6'3", 6. And every time I threw a headshot, he leaned back. He was not good with movement. He just leaned back. So the third round, Bill said, all right, this guy's leaning back. He said, crowd him, get him against the ropes, throw that overhand right, and let's see how he reacts to that. I block a few things. I get the guy up against the ropes. I throw the right. Sure enough, like Bill said, he leaned back. I hit him on the chin, knocked him out. I got 10 grand. Bill jumped in the ring and he said, Don, you can still make money in this game, buddy. He said, come out of retirement. So that's what got me out of retirement the first time, was Bill Slayton, telling me that I could still make money.
Yeah, and how many more fights did you have after that point?
I fought. Well, that was the first time I retired. I've retired 3 times. Yeah, listen. Here's how they get you out. Everybody will come out. Tyson comes out of retirement. Like you said, Pacquiao's going to come out of retirement. Everybody will come out.
De La
money.
Hoya is coming out.
Everybody will come out with money. And that pay-per-view money, they're not paying no more to see the best fighters of the 25-year-old guys fighting. They're paying. It's like a circus. Let's put Tyson against this guy. Let's do this. It's just entertainment now.
Well, I'm trying to be the referee of the Tyson Jones fight.
That'd be great. Have a celebrity referee.
I was just refereeing Saturday in the movie. Two fights, so the title fight and then the fight before the title fight.
Who was
I
fighting?
can't talk about it right now.
Okay.
Oh, it's in production or whatever.
Yes, in production. Yeah.
Still being produced. Oh wow. Well, that's the next thing they should do is get celebrity referees.
Well, see, if it would have been Tyson and Holyfield, then me the referee, all 3 of us fought.
Yeah.
Each other.
Well, they had the Jersey Joe Walcott used to referee.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Joe Louis did too. I think. He might
it was
have.
Jersey Joe Walcott.
I've had that happen. I had James Waring, who's the IBF boxing cruiserweight champion,
Right.
and I fought him in Japan. And he refereed my last fight.
Wow.
It was Atlantic City, my only fight in Atlantic City, at the Tropicana. And then I had Maurice Smith, was the WKA heavyweight. He was also UFC heavyweight champion.
Wow.
He did the announcing, and we fought in Japan, me and Maurice, when he was a cruiserweight, and then he became a heavyweight. But I had, and at ringside, of course, all the guys you used to fight, they all come up to watch my last fight. And the last day of sparring partner comes in, breaks my rib.
Wow.
Because I'm old, I was 48 years old. So Pat Goodman was my trainer then. He said, well, how's it feel? I said, it feels terrible. It feels like a knife. And he goes, well, what are you going to do? I said, I got to fight this fight. I want that money. I'm not going to back out. I said, I'd never backed out of a fight in 28 years of fighting. So what I did was I put my right hand like this. Bell rings. I never do anything to do it. I didn't want to expose my rib. So the last round, I look at Bill Slayton, and I learned something about him on this fight. I looked at Bill, and I said, Bill, am I winning? It was 10th round. He looks at me, and he goes, he just looked at the ground. He didn't lie to his fighters. Because he should have lied to me. He should have said, yeah, you're winning. Go out there and finish the fight. He couldn't get it out of his mouth.
You asked him how
He
you
said,
doing,
right? Yes, I said, am I winning? And then Pat Goodman looks up. He says, look at this audience. It was packed. He goes, they're all his people. He's been fighting here.
Stop doing like this. You make it.
Oh, sorry. I'll make it noise.
Yeah.
He said, they're all going to be, if he gets the decision, there ain't going to be no booing. Nobody's here for you. They're all here for this local guy. Because that's why they pay the champion to come out of retirement and get his ass kicked. Oh,
Right.
Sorry about that. Cut that part out.
That's fine.
But, so anyway, they're telling me I got to knock him out. It's the 10th round. I told this story to Holyfield. He burst out laughing because as a fighter, this never happens. Even in a Hollywood movie, they wouldn't write this.
Right.
I come out there, and I'm not winning the fight. And I'm not hurting him, and he was an experienced fighter, younger than me. In the last 4 seconds, it just occurs to me, I might as well throw the right hand now. I'm not going to walk out here.
A winner, yeah.
I threw the right hand, hit him on the chin, knocked him right out. His eyes rolled up, and I'm standing over. He's laying there shaking, and I throw my hands up. And, ladies and gentlemen, in the 10th and final round, winner by knockout with 4 seconds left on the clock. That's how I ended my career.
Wow.
I'll tell you the exact words Bill said. He jumped. His adrenaline was going. He jumped in the ring, threw the towel on me. He said, don't ever put them gloves on again. He said, you used up every ounce of your luck. He said, you got no more luck in your life. That's it. He must have been sweating. He must have been saying, oh, that poor Don.
Well, we still got one more fight left, right?
Phil's trying to get me to fight, but these are, I'm not saying bogus fights. These are these Hollywood kind of fights.
Well,
like
now-
me and
now-
Van Damme. Me and Van Damme. That's a bogus fight. Or me and Mickey Rourke. I know Mickey's. Cause I met Mickey in Bill's gym.
Me too. That's why I first met him. I sparred with
because
him
that was Bill. Yeah, I never sparred him, but
Mickey's
he's
cool.
not. I don't want to. We'd just be making money, basically. I'm not saying it's. I just.
It's called an exhibition.
Right. But you know what? And in an exhibition, sometimes.
Can get loose.
Well, I did KO one guy in an exhibition. I KO'd one guy.
I tore some dudes up in some exhibitions.
Yeah.
Because they hit me or something. All it takes is for one person to give you clip you good.
Yeah.
Say, oh,
Well,
okay.
Well, this guy, he came in the ring with 8-ounce gloves. I came in the ring with 16s because that's what I'm in my mind. Exhibition 16.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hit you with a small. First of all, I wear 10s. He came in. He's a little bit shorter than me, smaller, and so he's chunking bombs in the first round. And so this is in Switzerland of all places. And so my trainer was from Germany. He goes, "Hey, Mr. Wilson, we can just leave now. We can just walk up. Forget. It wasn't supposed to be a fight." And I said, "No." I said, "If I walk out of here." He's going, all these people, packed audience. He said, all these people think he handed me my rear end.
Yeah.
I said, I'll take care of this. So I can't brag about knocking the guy out. It's on YouTube. You can watch it. I don't know. It's somewhere. But he was a horrible fighter. And he was trying to make a name for himself in Switzerland, I
At
guess,
your expense.
to beat up the old 60-year-old dragon. I'm 66 now.
Right.
This was a few years ago. So maybe,
You're good,
maybe I was like 58 or
Look
59.
damn good, man.
Well,
I thought you was my age, about 60.
I'm 66, but
I see.
Hey,
but
he beat up like two of my my students yesterday.
Well, I only fight the women or the children.
No.
I fight the women and the children.
That's
That's
it.
it. That's it. Now, that's
He still has
No.
that killer instinct in him, man. It's crazy.
He's 66. That don't mean he's dead. He still,
No,
got
I'm
the fight in
telling
him.
What do you think of the Mike Tyson fight, Roy Jones?
I just hope neither champ get hurt.
Yeah.
some kind of permanent damage. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's just an exhibition, and people want to see it because because Mike Tyson, he's one of the most recognizable athletes in the world. And then Roy Jones, he ain't shabby at all with his recognition
Yes.
in the boxing world. But they're both great guys. And I still want to see them get any kind of permanent damage. They both have
No.
families, wives, children, and Mike's had a lot of mishaps in his life, man.
That's why they have to be careful with the referee. I guess is one person who has to.
Right.
It's not an easy
Control.
job.
Gotta
No, I'm
control.
saying it's not an easy job being a referee for that because you can't stop it too soon. Because
Or too late.
Yeah, or too late.
But see, first of all, you shouldn't have to
Because
come
people-
there.
Err on the side of caution. Err.
Right.
If you made a mistake, it's because you stopped too. No, don't let him take. As he's going down, 2 more punches.
Oh yeah.
Well, see,
That's what I'm worried about.
Your best preventive position in something like this is to go right in the beginning of the fight and take control. Let them know who the boss in the ring.
Yeah.
That's the only way you're gonna do that
In an exhibition.
in the exhibition. Yeah.
Well, Tyson, I think, is going to do that. Tyson, I think, is just going to come in and attack him. I would believe that. I don't think he's going to go easy because he's giving Roy Jones an opportunity to catch him because Roy Jones might be going in there hard.
Well, like I say, whichever one of them guys go in there and try to clip the other one, it's gonna be retaliation right after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and that's-
if
that's when
Tyson,
the fireworks
if
coming out.
Tyson
Listen,
clips
they've got
Roy
to have
Jones,
talked. They've got to have talked, not in front of the cameras, and just said, "Look, Roy, here's what I'm going to do," and then Roy, depending on what.
Yeah, but that don't
you know.
usually happen though. I'm
Yeah,
saying that
yeah.
usually like Henry was saying, once you get clipped
you
on the
clip-
chin,
You turn to somebody else. You're
turns
gonna turn
into
into the
somebody
fighter
else.
that you are.
Well, I think Roy might be able to control himself, but I think if Mike Tyson gets clocked with something,
He coming.
that's just in his nature.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't untame that.
Yeah. And that's why people are going to watch this thing. Because
Yeah.
we all know something
You
could
heard-
happen.
you heard about Logan Paul, huh, and Floyd Mayweather.
No.
Logan Paul, the other Paul brother,
Yeah.
not the one that trains here. That's Jake. Logan Paul signed. He's a heavyweight. He signed already to fight Floyd Mayweather.
That
Fight's
doesn't make
done.
sense. Even the
It's done.
heavyweight versus like welterweight,
Yeah. Well, big exhibition, man. It's happening. There's and we're all gonna probably watch it.
of course we got no choice.
That's why they're doing it.
We got to see what happens.
That's right. I was just with Floyd's father Saturday.
Oh, the father, yeah.
Yeah, I've actually spent some time with. He goes to martial art events, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
And anti-aging.
He's in great shape, too.
He went to the anti-aging convention in Vegas. That's the last time I saw
Hey,
him.
he's in great shape too.
Not an ounce of fat on him.
Not an ounce.
No.
If you put a bag over his head, you
Well,
would
he-
know
he
if he
just-
was 19
Right.
or 25.
He could make weight this weekend.
Yeah, he
Sure could.
just called somebody out. I forgot who it was. The father. He called out another.
He in great shape, man.
Yeah, he
Wow.
called out another.
Yeah.
I think trainer. Maybe like damn, who did he? Yeah, he called somebody out. He said, "I'll fight you." You didn't hear it, I guess, but. Well, listen. I think we're running out of time. This needs to be continued, man, for sure. Henry, I
Sure.
definitely would love to have you back again. There's so
Okay,
much more to
let me
talk
know.
about. And
Oh, yeah, so much more.
people can learn so much from your story.
Well, see, I'm trying to hold back because, they picked up my documentary.
Yeah, so I was going to say you need a documentary.
Well, no, Netflix already got
Yeah.
us.
That's great.
Yeah. It's about the Olympic boxing team, War of '84.
The best team ever.
Yeah, remember, we was post-war after
Yeah.
'80,
Yeah, wow.
And then we boycotted in '84. Well, they boycotted us. The Cubans, the Russians, the Germans. So they were like paying us back, I guess. So people say, how you feel them boycotting and not showing up? Does it make you feel like your medal's tarnished? I said, shit, no, I showed up.
That's right. If they wanted it, come and get it.
I
Come
was
and get
there.
it. Hey, that's not your fault.
Listen, you saw me fighting whoever they put there.
Yeah.
They the one didn't show up. They tucked their tail and didn't show up. Not me.
All right. Yeah, well, we'll say a guy comes to you. He's got skill. You look at him. He looks like he's got the ability. I want to be a fighter. What are like the elements that he needs discipline, what do you think he needs?
Well, those are the basic things: discipline and working hard, training hard. But to me, the biggest aspect of becoming not just a fighter, but if you want to become a great fighter and really put your footprint in boxing, is you have to become a student of boxing.
Study, watch fights.
Watch fights, watch film, go to fights, go to amateur shows, watch sparring. Don't just get through working out, just leave the gym. If guys are sparring, sit down while you're relaxing and watch the sparring. Take mental notes. Well, like we was talking about earlier about winning and losing, and I think it's all how you look at a loss. You can look at a loss as a loss, or you look at it as a lesson. And it just made me get more familiarized with myself on what to do and not to do in these type of fights, because I went in and gave the Cuban too much respect because I fought the Cubans in the finals in the Pan Am game. And I didn't really start trying to clobber him hard like I really knew how until he did some foul stuff on me, but it was too late. And I seen then he was really kind of, a little nervous about me. But I didn't know this. I hadn't had experience. I'm still new at boxing. I've been there with the Cubans in Caracas, Venezuela, and the Pan Am Games. Like a lot of people don't realize the Pan Am Games come every 4 years, 1 year before the Olympics. And usually who win the Pan Am Game wins the Olympics. We was all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's big. And then like in '84, the World Championships usually come 4 months before the Olympics, the Amateur World Championships. And that was the last time I fought Willie DeWitt before the Olympics in the finals in the World Championships. I took the silver there with him. But I knew, and I told him right there, I said, man, I beat you, man. He said, you'll never beat me again, bro. If we ever meet, you'll never beat me again.
You fought him as a pro, right?
Yeah. Oh, that was college stuff.
Yeah.
He's been over there in Canada, and you know how they go. They gave me the decision.
Yeah, wow.
Last question for both you guys. So, what would you tell a young fighter who's coming in? You guys talk about '84. I was actually born in '84. So you got it's a young fighter who's coming in, and they want to be. You guys are champions. You guys are legends. What would you tell a young man who's just getting in the game who wants to be a world champion?
There's many different ways you can look at that. For one thing, when you talk about the losing and winning, I tell people, when you lose, you go over every mistake you made and try to correct it. You learn from your losses. Yep. When you win, you go out and you get drunk, forget about everything you ever did, and you don't learn anything usually. So if you look at losing like Henry did, and I did myself, as a learning experience, I'm not going to sit there and wallow around in it. It's whatever I did wrong, I'd never do it again. That's right. Which is true. It improved me every loss. And sometimes, though, it's just a bad decision. I mean, I can tell you, when you're fighting the German champion in Berlin, the Italian champion in Rome,
right.
Canadian, you got to knock them out twice to make sure you get the decision.
Just to get the one win,
right.
Exactly.
But you can't live. You know who knows your fight record when you retire? You do. That's it. No, your fight record's not important. It's you sound like a martial art master. You are a master. You're a master of boxing, and there are martial arts guys who are masters. And the things you were talking about and life lessons you learn by being a champion like you were. You really impressed me.
Thank you, Don. I appreciate that. Coming from a 10-time world champion.
I won a bunch of them. of them.
I think it was 11.
Yeah, I knew it was up there.
Here's the thing. Kickboxing's not like boxing. We got different rules all over. So, I'd win a title, and then they'd say, oh, yeah, but you can't fight with elbows and knees. I said, well, where do they do it? They set it up. And they would set it up, because there are places where you can fight with hitting with elbows. Grabbing the head is legal. So if a guy gets inside, you got no body work because he's holding you. So I fought under all the rules they had.
Right.
Now, they didn't have MMA then, but I was a college wrestler, so I would have adapted quickly to MMA. If they'd have had that, I'd have done that. Martial arts encompasses the whole body. Bruce Lee was the mixed martial artist, the first one. Mm-hmm. The gloves they wear today, he invented those things in the 60s. And he studied boxing as well.
Oh, yeah, you can see it in him.
Well, he studied it. Sugar Ray Leonard used to say he was a big fan of Bruce Lee. Now, he never really had a fight. So, I give him a certain amount of credit, but you got to prove it in the ring. If you're out here shadow boxing, or I'm out here shadow boxing, that's not fighting.
Did he ever compete in
No.
Kung Fu?
I don't think he's
no,
ever.
no, he never competed.
Never had a fight.
He was an
Bruce Lee.
actor. He was an actor, but he trained like a fighter. You know, I've seen all his home movies and things, and he was in great shape, jump rope, and you know, I think if he made an effort to be a fighter, he could have been a successful fighter.
Right.
I mean, he had all the ingredients: the speed, the reflexes, and the ego. Because if you don't have a certain kind of ego, like I swear, if you slap the guy, I'm sure he'd fire back at you. Ain't no way Bruce Lee would just take a slap in the face and just.
Say, hey, man, don't
Oh no, it's all
I'm
men.
just an actor, man. I'm not a fighter.
No. Well, I tell people, you know, I'm the only kickboxing champion that's doing movies out here, and I don't consider myself an actor. I just got lucky that I got to do a lot of movies because it was a second career for me.
Oh, right.
You know,
yeah, right.
and we didn't make money like boxers make as champions. So I made my whatever little money I made it as an actor, not as a kickboxer.
Right.
That was just a life learning experience.
Because they wasn't paying kickboxing like now, how the MMA. Some of these guys make pretty good
Oh
money
no,
in
they're making
MMA
some.
now.
Hey, Conor McGregor got $100 million.
See?
But it wasn't MMA. It was boxing. He boxed Mayweather. He got $100 million. But
You know, Connor's fighting Pacquiao.
Pacquiao now, he's gonna pick up another $100 million.
Fight signed.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. Because you know what, guys, that guy can't crack any amateur boxer go right through Conor McGregor.
Mayweather played with him.
Yes, he did it.
Well, Pacquiao,
You know, I was with Mayweather. Like I told Phil. Well, you've seen the pictures. Last year we were in Chechnya together. The president of Chechnya is a big fight fan, so he flew me and Mayweather. He considered a top kickboxer, top boxer, to go to his birthday party.
Wow.
Now, I don't know what kind of money Mayweather made, but I'm sure it was a lot. And he made $200 million off Conor McGregor. He promoted it himself. $200 million.
Mayweather
did. He didn't get Bob Arum or any Don King. Nobody. He promoted it. He took all that money, and that's why he put on a show. Because let me tell you, I've told this story to Phil, and I don't know if the public knew it. So, what's his name? Conor McGregor goes 10 rounds or 9 rounds with Mayweather. How can he do it? He was an amateur boxer in Ireland. A bad one, not an Olympic champion. He just could throw a few punches. He sticks his chin out like this. Mayweather was saving up to the last one, put on a show, and he's going to knock him out in the later rounds. When he made his decision to knock him out, Conor McGregor was stumbling around the ring so much, Mayweather couldn't hit him clean. It wasn't that McGregor had such a great chin or whatever, but he was stumbling and falling. And we have a thing in martial arts. We call that the drunken monkey style of kung fu. No, because if I don't know where I'm going the next second, how can you figure it out?
Exactly.
That's what. So they end up stopping the fight. So here's what happens: the Japanese promoters, they have big money still in Japan for fights. They looked at that and said, they had a young Japanese kickboxer knocking guys out. They said, let's have him fight Mayweather because he'll just kill Mayweather. Look at that. Mayweather let Conor McGregor go 10 rounds of boxing. So here's now Mayweather is not promoting it. So he's under no obligation to carry the guy, right? Knocks him out in the first round.
Oh, yeah.
Like the guy's not.
That little Japanese guy.
That's their star, though. That was their rising star in Japan. He's knocking guys out left and right, kicking them, punching them.
But it was a boxing match, right?
He didn't go one round. And first of all, Mayweather was laughing the whole time he was doing it. He's a big smile on his face, with the mouthpiece on and just dropping him. I think he dropped him twice in the first round and then knocked him out in the first round. Wasn't even a fight. So, you're a fighter. You look at that. If you tell me that he was doing his absolute best to knock McGregor out in the early rounds.
No,
I don't buy it.
Man, he had that glove right here.
He's walking around. He walked
around.
Right.
He had that glove way up here.
Letting McGregor do.
Yeah.
Look, boxers don't do arm punching. That's it. Like they punch with their bodies. Here's what McGregor. I just tell people he invented a new technique. I never seen a boxer do it. He was wrist punching. Here's Mayweather. He's going like this. You ever seen a boxer hit a guy like this?
I haven't seen no MMA guy do
that. You watch that McGregor fight with, because he must have been thinking, I'm in here, I could punch, but I better not make him mad. You know what I mean? I better not really. And so Mayweather's head is here, and McGregor was going, I never saw anybody I call that wrist punching. Nothing moving.
I think he was hitting him on the top of the head with that, too.
Yes, he was.
Behind the head and stuff.
Look, he did all kinds of crazy stuff. The referee was constantly talking to Conor McGregor about, keep the punches up, do this, do that. But it's his first 10-round fight.
Well, next time we get together, we could talk about your fight with Mickey Rourke. We could talk about you refereeing the Roy Jones, Mike Tyson. It's going to be something's going to go.
Let him go, Roy. Let him go.
No. Every time Tyson fights, at least there used to always be some kind of problem, some kind of bite your ear, try to break your arm. Let's see what.
That's the old Mike Tyson. He's in a better place in his life right now.
Yeah, he's changed that. I don't think
I don't know, but I think if Roy Jones hits him with a combination, man, he might turn into the old Mike Tyson.
I don't think so. He's much more control of his emotions and his thought patterns and everything.
Well,
I think
November 28th, we will find out.
We sure will.
If
sure
if you
never know,
you never
and
know.
one punch might wake that demon up, boy. Here you come.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
If he goes out of control, that would be out of control.
That'd be out of control, boy. Untie that joker, boy. He comes.
I'm worried about. I'm saying Roy Jones's health. Is the thing is that not. I just don't see him stopping Mike Tyson. I mean,
nah. Mike's a beast.
Mike's going to do what he wants. He's going.
He's an animal. But you always got to still look. You got 105 years of being alive on this earth in that ring.
Yeah.
105 years of what?
A life in that ring. 105, 54 and 51.
Oh, yeah.
That's
yeah.
105.
5 years.
So this, I just consider that as well. That's what I'm saying. That's why I just hope neither one of them get hurt.
That's the hope.
It's some permanent damage stuff,
No, I don't like that. I've seen that with boxers.
That's
and
my
I've seen
biggest
it
fear
with
about it. Other than that, I think it's great because it opened doors for other guys, especially guys that's not doing too well financially or whatever. It puts them in a position maybe to make some money and get a fresh start and a new lease on life.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
Well, it also shows that just getting in your 50s doesn't mean your life's over. I mean, these guys are still competing and still punching. And, as you get older,
things don't work the same.
Hey, you know who's out? You know who's out hitting the punching bag?
Who?
Let's end with this. I don't think we can end with anything better than this.
But I want to just commend Mike on raising money.
Oh yeah,
to help
charity.
people by doing this because he's putting himself on the line to help others, and that's a very honorable thing to do. That's a God-driven move.
Yeah, no, I think that's what he really in his heart. That's what he wants to do.
That's what he want to do. Yeah.
But I still think he wants to knock out Roy Jones.
He probably that's any.
Yeah.
Once like I said, we go doom. As soon as he hit him, I don't know. We don't know what's going to come out.
Hey, let's end with this. Picture this. This is something I just saw. There's a man out there right now punching a heavy bag, getting in shape.
Yeah.
And his name is George Foreman. He's out there punching a bag, getting in shape.
Again?
Right now.
See, this is what I was afraid of with this stuff.
Henry's a trainer now too. He owns his own boxing gym.
Yes.
And how's that feel? How's it feel being a trainer?
Well, excuse me. I kind of got into training because, there again, Mercer Smith, he used to have myself and other fighters hold pads for each other sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I said, Smitty, I don't want to be no damn trainer. Why you got me holding pads? He said, son, the reason why I'm doing this, so you'll see what I see. I can tell you what I see forever, but you still gonna formulate a vision of your own mind, in your own mind, what I told you I saw. But now you get to see what I see. Now make your opinion of what you see and why you see it and how you see it. And it didn't make sense at the time when I was doing it. Hey, guys, it's extra work, man. I'm like,
no, it makes a lot of sense.
It made me really see what he was saying. Because I said, man, my hand ain't dicey. I said, we didn't have phones back then like they do now. Now a lot of times I tell the guy, put your phone. He set their phone up, and I said, now look at the phone. They look at it and say, sure he is. I said, yeah, I'm telling you, man, you don't even realize it. And that's what he did for me, and made me want to become even better. Because he was doing that from day one. How you get behind the pads, how you hold a heavy bag so you can see, and you telling this guy to do this, man, you dropping your hand, and you educating yourself at the same time. You know what I mean? Because you telling him what to do, and you can't do this either because you telling him to do it. And it was brilliant, man. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, the big fighter you're training right now is Charles Martin, right?
Charles,
He's like
and
number.
Donald Brown. Yeah,
Donald Brown.
Charles Martin, the number one.
He has a number one heavyweight in the world. Former champion too, Charles Martin, Prince Martin, right?
Charles Prince Martin, yeah.
Yeah, he became a champion. He lost the first fight in the first defense,
Yeah.
but he worked his way back up, number one in the world now.
Ready to go for it again. And I mean, when I got Charles, he had no fights.
He was a football player too, wasn't he?
Well, no, Charles. Charles has just always been athletic. He played, street basketball and stuff like that.
Kind of like you.
Yeah, when Charles could slam dunk and everything. Right now, he can slam dunk a basketball and all that.
Wow.
But he never played like collegiate ball or organized sports like that until boxing.
So you're in the middle of training right now, right? You're getting ready for something?
Yeah.
Do you have a fight? Do you have a fight set or no?
Well, they sent a couple of different opponents. And we're going over them and, I'm talking with Charles and we get down to it,
Right after this one, if there is one, I think Joshua's going to vacate the title.
I told Charles that when we stopped Joe Washington up there in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I told him that. I say, I'm telling you what they're going to do. He going to relinquish that IBF because he don't want to fight Charles again. No.
Yeah.
I know he don't.
Well, he wants to fight Tyson Fury, and then they'll take the title away from him just for doing that.
Right, yeah. But he still don't want to fight Charles. And also, too, I don't think he want to fight Charles. I put it like that because Charles is southpaw.
Yeah.
And Charles can punch.
Oh, well, he'll fight him if he had to fight him.
If he had to, but I'm just saying, it'd make more sense for him to fight Tyson Fury for $100 million than fight Charles for $7 million.
How would Charles do against Tyson Fury?
Tyson Fury is a freak of nature, man. That dude is like a giant middleweight. See how he move?
Yeah, I know.
Dude's a freak of nature, man.
And he can punch a little, man. People say he can't punch.
He almost 300 pounds.
Yeah,
he
can punch.
Like saying an elephant is weak. This elephant weak and that elephant strong. Man, both of them elephants weigh tons. Any one of them sit on you squashed.
All right, well, that's it. We're going to continue this for sure because I know there's so much more to talk about. Well, Don, it was great you stopping by, man. It was really great.
Right, I just want to stop by. I don't want to interfere or anything because I was sitting right there was just good listening to your backstory because I didn't know as much.
Two legendary fighters, man. Yeah. It's amazing.
Good
privilege.
We were around in the same times too.
That's right. Yeah.
When I was going down in Watts, it was the mid '85 and all. Well, you're still active pro.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. And it's great to talk about Smitty.
Yeah, Smitty, that was my man.
Yeah, great guy.
I bought Smitty a brand new car. After I got some money, after I won the Olympics, so I got a brand new car.
Oh, that's beautiful.
He said, son, this is the first time I ever had a brand new car in my life. I paid cash for it, too.
That's great, man. Well, listen, man, thank you very much, Don, for showing up. Henry, we'll be talking, man.
To be continued.
To continue this, for sure, because I know there's so much more to talk about. Thank you so much for joining us today. And you guys, I'm honored. I really am, truly am.
Let's do it.
Okay, take care, everyone.
All right.